new moon is a good time for introspection and planning for things that come next. And yin fits in really well with that because it's a very slow and introspective practice of yoga. Um, and the midwinter just sort of adds another layer onto that. And I was thinking, as I was preparing for class today, that this is the longest new moon of the year, because after this, we'll have solstice next week. And then after that, the days will start getting longer again. So I thought that was kind of neat. So we're going to start off tonight in a reclined, supported pose. This is kind of like making your very own yoga recliner. So if you have some blocks and a bolster, you can set them up this way with one block in the back and the other in the front. If you don't have blocks and a bolster, that's fine too. You can use some couch pillows or regular pillows here. And if you don't have any of this at all at home today, even that is fine. You can just come down to rest on your back and let your feet come out to the width of your mat and your knees rest in like this, even just lying flat on your back. So we're going to make tonight's practice especially cozy. So if you've got some blankets close by, you can take one of your blankets and just spread it over you as we get started here today. And I'm going to guide you into the poses today. And as I have done that, then I'm going to sit up and observe the time. So if you happen to glance at the screen and you see that I'm sitting up, don't worry that you've missed a cue. I will guide you out with my voice. So come down to rest on your supports here, allowing yourself to be slightly inclined and supported. And if you like, you can take another one of your blankets and make it into a little log by rolling it up and slip that underneath your knees if you'd like to support yourself even more here. And so just allow yourself to, oh, I have company. Just allow yourself to relax here. Let your arms rest at your sides. And just feel how your chest opens. And if you'd like to rest your hands on your belly here, you're welcome to do that too. And we'll just bring to mind an image here. So just imagine that you're resting comfortable and warm in a winter clearing out under a clear night sky. And even though there's snow all around, you are magically warm and cozy. In the moonless sky, the stars seem extra bright. And you're astounded by their twinkling lights. Resting here warmly underneath the vast night sky. Your breath comes easy, smooth, and deep, like the snow around you. Rising and falling easily and effortlessly. At the rim of the sky, you can see the evergreen trees heavy with snow. And perhaps, if you watch long enough, see the shadow of some deer passing by. As you raise your gaze back to the clear winter sky, you notice that you can see layers and layers of stars. First, the very brightest ones. Then just beyond those, other stars, not quite as bright. And farther still, you can make out a dusting of lighter stars, giving the sky an incredible depth. And in the depth of the sky, you begin to notice that every now and then there'll be a beautiful falling star streaking across the night. And now begin to take a deep breath. And we'll slowly move out of this pose, rolling to one side first. And then pressing yourself up to seated. If you brought a blanket underneath your knees, you can shift that out of the way. And you can keep your blanket over you if you like, or shift it to the side. We're going to turn to one side now. And if you have your little support here, you can keep it here. We're going to bend both knees, and you're going to allow the shin of the right leg to rest in the hollow of the left foot. And your hip is going to come right up close to your support. You can choose here to leave your support elevated as you did before, or if you like, you can take the supports out and just allow your pillows to rest on the floor. Well, this is our restorative twist. We've practiced this before, so you may remember. We'll bring the pillow very close to the hip and then place the hands on either side of the pillow and turn the torso towards the support. You can choose here whether you'd like to have a more restorative twist or one that takes you closer to your edge. If you'd like one more restorative, rest your head with your gaze toward the front of your body. And if you'd like it to be taking you more towards your edge, turn your head toward the back of your pillow. And we'll be here for 3 minutes. In this dark time of the year, before we begin a new cycle, it's a good time to reflect on some questions. So take just a moment to consider what has supported you in this year. In this year of so many challenges, what has supported you? As you're contemplating this thought, this question, allow your shoulders to relax. Allowing your body to be heavy. Just allowing yourself to sink into your support. What has supported you during the last year? Particularly if your head was turned toward the back of your support. Move the neck very, very slowly here, pressing into the palms, and beginning to slowly walk back up to seated. I have to move my little friend out of the way. Pardon me, Poppy. And you can shift your support to the other side of the mat or turn in the other direction, whatever suits you best. And we'll just take the legs to the other side. Now resting the left shin in the arch of the right foot. You can bring your blanket with you if you like. And then once again, just turning the torso so that the chest and belly relax down on your support. Turning your head towards the front or the back, depending on the level of sensation you'd like to have. And then allowing yourself to relax and become heavy. And then contemplating the question, what is something you would like to cultivate more of in your life? Something you would like to invite
or to manifest. And perhaps there are things that immediately come to mind. Perhaps you're just not sure. Either of those things is okay. Just hold the question gently. If there are any distracting thoughts coming into the mind is wandering. It's perfectly all right. Just guide it back to the breath, guide it back to the body, guide it back to your question. What would you like to cultivate more of in your life? And begin to take your breath just a little deeper, remembering to move slowly and gently, pressing yourself back up to seated. We're going to turn toward the bolster or your pillows. Excuse me, Poppy. And you can take your blanket, if you have one, and just bring it around your shoulders here. And we're going to allow the bolster to come in between the legs here. And you have a few choices in this pose. You can allow the knees to remain bent and just drape the arms around the knees, leaning forward here. You should feel a comfortable little stretching sensation in the lower back and maybe some in the backs of the legs as well. And so this is your more restorative version for this pose. And if this is where you want to stay, I invite you to do that. And then if you'd like to take this into a little bit more yin, a little more finding of your edge, allow your legs to come out straight or somewhat straight. And then allow yourself to relax forward onto your bolster, maybe resting your head on your bolster here, your pillows. And you can bring your blanket up here with you, gathering that around your shoulders, or even allowing the blanket to come over your head, creating for yourself a nice little warm cave here. So take a moment to get yourself settled in where you'd like to be here. Allow your breath to even back out. And take your gaze inward. Letting your eyes relax from the world of seeing and opening your inner vision. Perhaps taking yourself back to our snowy forest where we were in the clearing before. And this time, allowing yourself to follow a path. Again, magically warm, magically comfortable here. You can hear the sounds of your footsteps on the trail, that crunching sound that shoes make on frozen ground. And as you walk along your trail, you realize that you're reminded of a poem by Robert Frost, stopping by a woods on a snowy evening. And you think you remember, it goes a little like this. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, this darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. If you find yourself holding or resisting anywhere, just allow those muscles to relax. And now begin to slowly awaken, coming up slowly, maybe rolling up one vertebra at a time. And you can shift your blanket off to the side if you like. You might even shift your little dog off to the side. We're going to come down to our belly, coming to a supported Sphinx. So you want to bring your pillows parallel to the top of your mat here. And let me just say that you have some options as to how far you'd like to take this back bend. So one option is simply to lay on your belly with your hands underneath your forehead. So even this, in our world where we rarely rest on our bellies, is a back bend. So particularly if you have a cranky lower back, that can be a good option. The other option is to bring your pillows so that they are underneath your torso, but in such a way that you can still easily reach the floor with your elbows. So here my hands, my elbows are, sorry, I'm looking for the right words. My arms are flat on the floor. My elbows are still at about 90 degrees with my shoulders. My fingers are pulling back. So this is a second option. And if you find that you'd like to go even a little deeper toward your edge, you can bring your forearms to the pillows and allow yourself to rest here, extending your neck nicely out of your spine. And so find wherever you'd like to set up for this pose. Get yourself arranged. And once you've found where you'd like to land, allow your gaze to either rest comfortably down towards the floor, or perhaps gazing out in front. Allow your gluteal muscles, your lower back muscles, and your legs to relax. Your legs may even rotate away from each other. Notice how in a back bend, we often try to resist the sensation by tensing other parts of the body, almost as if we are in fear. So as you release, just take a moment to reassure yourself here that you can come out of this pose at any time. Keeping the breath nice and long. Consider what it means to look forward to something in your life. What does it mean to be looking forward? What does it mean to be looking inward? How do those two concepts make you feel? What feelings go with looking forward or looking inward? Scan through the body again and look for any places of resistance, of tension. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Checking in with the lower back and the glutes. Maybe even scanning down to the arches of the feet to see what they might need. And then again, deepening the breath and beginning to move slowly from this pose. First, bringing the hands in, either close to your sides or the sides of the pillow, pressing yourself up mindfully and slowly, and coming back to rest on your heels for a moment. We'll turn the pillows again, excuse you, puppy, long ways on the mat. And again, you have your choice for this next pose. You can bring this into a supported child's pose. So bringing the big toes to touch, allowing the knees to come out wide, and just relaxing over your pillows, turning your head to either side that suits you. So this is going to be your more restorative choice. If you'd like to make this a little deeper, you'll bring the pillows out a little farther in front of you, and you're really going to allow the knees to come out wide. The toes are going to be touching in towards each other, and the lower part of the belly will not be supported on the bolster. So you'll be supporting the upper part of the belly and allowing this big hip opener to happen. With the toes together, we call this a supported tadpole. And if you'd like to bring this even to slightly more sensation, you can turn the feet out, pointing the toes out towards the sides of the mat, coming into a supported frog pose. And if you'd like to bring your blanket with you, spreading that blanket over you, you can do that as well. So find where you land. Find the level of sensation that you want to invite, whether that be a sensation of stretch and opening, or one of rest and relaxation. And allow your breathing to become deep. Breathing deep into the belly. Perhaps smoothing out the breath so that your inhales and exhales are even. Relax your jaw. Allow your teeth to part slightly. Let the muscles of your face relax. No expression to make here. Here in your home yoga practice. No one to watch. Allow your shoulders to relax away from your ears. Allow your arms to be heavy. Allow your upper legs and hips to relax and open. And if you're feeling a strong sensation, breathe with that. Use the rhythm, even the sound of your breath to soothe yourself. Sensations of discomfort rise and fall. They come and they go. Just use your breath to ride it out. Maybe consider what's something you've been resisting in your life. And what would happen if you softened to that? And then bring your hands to either side of your support. Take a deep breath. And again, particularly if you chose the deeper sensation, move very gingerly with yourself, bringing yourself back up to seated. And we're going to take ourselves next into a supported fish pose. So we'll bring the pillows back to the top of the mat. And you have options for this, as with all things that we're doing today. So you can bring the pillows long ways on the mat if you like, bringing the bottom of the pillows close to the base of the spine here, and then very slowly allowing yourself to relax back onto the pillows, allowing the arms to come out to the sides. And depending on what your lower back needs here, you can keep the knees bent. You can also Take that rolled up blanket, if you like, and put that underneath the knees. So make yourself nice and comfortable here. And if you'd like to invite even more sensation here, you can turn the bolster long ways. If you choose this option, you're going to place the bolster right under the thoracic spine or the mid back. And as you relax back, you can allow the crown of the head to come to the floor, letting the neck relax back. And this variation is not recommended if you have any difficulties with your cervical spine or your neck. So please be cautious here. And once you've found the level of sensation that you'd like to have, letting the arms relax away from the body. Letting the collarbones spread apart and the shoulders to snuggle up underneath the back. Just feel how your heart opens here. Think about what that means to open your heart. What does that mean physically? To allow the front of the body to become long, to stretch the shoulders back. To allow ourselves to spread the chest in a way that we often don't in our usual working world and life. But there are other layers as well. What does it mean to you mentally to open your heart intellectually? What does it do for your thinking, for your reasoning mind? What does it mean for you emotionally? If you say you open your heart to something or someone, what does that mean? What does it mean to you spiritually? Might say we extend our heart to someone or something, or we soften around the heart. And now take a deep breath and take one hand, bringing it slowly to the top of your head, cradling your head as you begin to gently lift, and then use that arm to help you roll to one side, coming very carefully off your support. And if you brought that blanket underneath the knees, you can remove that now. And we're going to come to the side of our pillows, kind of like we are laying down into a fetal position. So you'll bring the pillows close to the hip, but not touching it, and allow your lower arm to extend out, resting your head on your arm. So you want to feel like the pillows are underneath the middle of the body here, and that your head is resting comfortably on your arm. And this, with the upper hand supporting the front of the body, is your more restorative option. You can make some choices here about what you do with your legs, extending the legs out long, making this a pose with more sensation, and taking that upper arm and allowing it to sweep up overhead is going to be your deepest sensation. And again, you can cover up with your nice cozy blankets here if you like. And if you feel like you're falling forward slightly, shift your top leg back just a couple of inches. You'll also feel that that brings the stretch more deeply into the side of the body. And then allow yourself to breathe deeply, imagining yourself filling the lung on the extended side of the body just a little more. Feeling the skin of the side body stretch. And a poem for this side. Early winter walk. In the frozen, fragile dark of dawn, breath billows out like a flag. Yet the birds still sing their joy at the uncertain miracle of morning. No one taught them to suffer in the cold. How did I learn? They open their throats and wings with chilly joy instead. Walking in the park, the thinning light catches and glides down a spider web, linking limb to fallen leaf. No one taught the spider to close her heart and save for spring. Why do I? She spins her web out long, hoping to catch the elusive day. I listen to my feet, soft and warm in the cradle of my shoes. Look up to let in the trees and their austere grace, and think, this too is beauty.
Take a deep breath. If you extended an arm overhead, bring that back in front of the body now. And then roll forward slightly, using that arm to press yourself back to a seated position. You can turn your body on your mat or switch your bolster to the other side if you like. Excuse me, Poppy. Poppy likes my blankets. She thinks they belong to her. And now we'll find the pose on the other side. So bending the legs if you like, finding your blankie, extending the arm out long. Don't lick my nose, Poppy. And then sweeping the arm up overhead or extending the legs, whatever you'd like to invite into the practice. Allowing your body to relax. Just allowing the shape and the supports to lengthen the side body. Breathing into the side body, breathing into the lung. And a poem for this side. Secrets by Amy Ludwig Vanderwater. Each snowflake holds a story of what it used to be. In every twinkling crystal lives a memory of the sea. And every ocean drop remembers when it once was snow. Nature seems so quiet, but I listen, so I know. Take a deep inhale. If you extended your top arm, bring it back in front of you now. Using that to press yourself back up to seated. And we'll face our supports now, bringing the soles of the feet together on top of our supports. So we're coming into a butterfly or Badakanasana here with the sits bones on the floor and the feet supported by our pillows. And once you find the positioning here with your legs,
Begin to gently lower yourself down to the floor. You may want to scoot your hips forward or back to find the right positioning for your legs to be supported and open on your pillows and your back to be resting on the floor. And then bring your hands to rest on your belly. And if you'd like to cover up with your blanket here, you may. And just feel the gentle rise and fall of your breath. Begin to feel the sensation, not just of your hands touching your belly, but of your belly touching your hands. Connecting with the experience that your hands have as they rest here. And see if you can feel the gentle tingling and aliveness of the palms of your hands. You may even visualize that as a warm glow or a light. And as you visualize that warm glow, see if you can tune into the sensation of warmth in your belly that your hands are spreading. And if you can't really feel it here, just imagine what it feels like. Imagine that warmth turning into a glow all its own. And see the glow spread. See that light spread down your legs, past your knees, all the way down to your feet. And then see it spread upward through your torso and into your shoulders, up into your head and down your arms, until your whole body is aglow. Until you yourself are a light. A light in this darkness of midwinter. Filled with light. Allow yourself to release one hand from your belly, reaching it underneath your leg and folding your leg over on top of the other, perhaps shifting your hips gently to the opposite side, and then allowing your arms to fall open wide, coming into a twist with your legs supported on your pillows. And you can keep your gaze up toward the ceiling if you like, or shift it over the opposite shoulder. Whichever movement brings in the level of sensation that you'd like to have here. As you come into this supported reclined twist, maybe just ask yourself, what part does your yoga play in your life? What keeps you coming back to the mat? Gently take your top leg and allow it to come back up to neutral. Allow your other leg to follow and shift your hips slightly in the other direction. Then allow your knees to fall to the opposite side, allowing your head to remain straight or looking over your opposite shoulder. And then asking yourself, what energizes you? What brings you energy? What brings light into your life? And now bring your knees back up. We'll set up for our final pose today. So extend your legs out long over your pillows if you like. You can cover up with your blankie again if you want as we come into this supported Shavasana. So make yourself nice and comfy. And a short quote to guide your Shavasana. Winter, come and rest your soul on autumn's weary head. Twirl, shimmer, soften before tucking fall to bed.
And if you like, you can continue to rest here for as long as it feels good for you. Or you can roll to one side and come up to seated. And we'll close the practice today with a winter's blessing. May you find peace in the promise of a winter's night, that each day forward is blessed with more light, that the cycle of nature, unbroken and true, brings faith to your soul and well-being to you. Rejoice in the darkness, in the silence, find rest, and may the days that follow be abundantly blessed. Thank you so much for joining me tonight for this practice. May your yoga follow you off the mat.